The last visitor from the start. On a cold October night in the Nevada desert, retired Air Force radar technician Daniel Carter woke up and saw something that shouldn't have existed. It wasn't an airplane. It wasn't a satellite. And it certainly wasn't a shooting star. The object hovered silently above the desert floor, glowing with a soft blue light that pulsed like a heartbeat. Daniel had spent 30 years identifying aircraft. His instincts told him one thing. This wasn't built by humans. Most people would have reached for their phone. Daniel reached for his old binoculars. As he focused the lenses, the object slowly descended until it rested just a few feet above the sun. Then, as always appeared, a figure stepped out. Detailed almost human. Tall, thin, silver gray skin and large black eyes that reflected the moonlight like polished glass. The creature didn't move toward Daniel. Instead, it simply stood there, waiting. Daniel's heart pounded. Every survival instinct screamed at him to run. But curiosity won. He slowly raised an empty hand. The visitor did the same. Neither spoke. Yet somehow, Daniel heard a voice inside his mind. "We come in peace." The words were clear, calm, almost gentle. Daniel realized that the creature wasn't speaking English. It wasn't speaking any language at all. The message appeared directly in his thoughts. "What do you want?" Daniel whispered. The answer came instantly. "To remember." Guessing your words unfused him. The alien slowly pointed toward the sky. Thousands of stars stretched across the darkness. "Long ago you were welcome travelers." Images flooded Daniel's mind. Ancient civilizations, stone monuments, people staring at glowing craft crossing the heavens. Not as enemies, but as guests. Then another image appeared. Earth covered in smoke, cities burning, missiles rising into the atmosphere. The vision vanished. "You forgot who you are." Daniel felt tears forming in his eye. "Can we change it?" The being thought. Every civilization reaches a choice. Fear, the stars above them, or understanding. The sky brightened again. "Your future has not been written." The visitor reached into the air. A tiny sphere of light floated toward Daniel. It was warm, weightless. Inside it, swirling patterns located like miniature galaxies. "This is not a weapon. It is memory." The moment Daniel touched it, he saw impossible things. Human cities taught by clean energy. Oceans restored. Children speaking dozens of languages with Orsoan fluidity. People exploring distant planets not to conquer them, but to learn. Then he saw another future. Dark skies, silent streets, empty buildings, a world destroyed by its own fear. The visions disappeared. The sphere dissolved into light. The alien stepped backward. Its craft began to rise. Daniel shouted, "Will you come back?" For the first time, the being smiled. A tiny expression, almost impossible to notice. When humanity looks up with wonder instead of suspicion, the blue light became brighter. Within seconds, the craft vanished without a sound. No explosion, no trail, nothing. The next morning, government investigators searched the desert. They found no footprints, no radiation, no wreckage. Only Daniel's old binoculars laying in the sand. Most people dismissed his story. News anchors laughed. Scientists debated. Conspiracy theorists celebrated. Daniel never argued with anyone. He simply returned home. Every evening, he sat on his porch with a cup of sofa and watched the stars. Years later, after Daniel passed away peacefully at the age of 91, his granddaughter cleaned out his attic. Inside an old wooden box, she found a notebook. Every page contained the same sentence. "They were never waiting for us to become smarter. They were waiting for us to become kinder." She looked at the outer window that night. Far above the clouds, on a small blue light blinked once, then disappeared into the endless sea of stars. Maybe it had only been a satellite. Or maybe, somehow there was still waiting for humanity to remember.